I want to give you one final example before I end. In the tribe of Bani Israel, there was a man who was so pious. He kept on worshipping Allah day and night till he had this mark of prostration on his head. Somebody comes to him and says to him, there are people in the next town who are worshipping a tree. They're not worshipping God, they're worshipping the tree. So he became angry because he was a true believer of God. He leaves his house, he's walking towards that town, and he has an axe in his hand. His intention, so much anger for the sake of God. He wanted to chop the tree down. As he's going, Shaitan manifests himself as an old man. Shaitan says, where are you going? He says, I'm going to chop the tree down. Why? Because I am told they are worshipping the tree. Nobody deserves to be worshipped but God. Shaitan says, no, don't go. You know, there are prophets who are going to come and go. Prophet, let them give the message. You don't have to do it. You go back to worshipping God. He said, by Allah, I will not do that. I will make sure I go and chop the tree. Then Shaitan said, he said, you know what? I know you are a poor man. Let me make a deal with you. Now, he didn't know this was Shaitan. Let me make a deal with you. What's the deal? I will put 2 dinar underneath your pillow every night from tonight onwards. This way you can feed your family. You don't have to worry about it. Let Allah take care of the tree. So this man thought about it. He said, you know what? 2 dinar? Not bad. I will use 1 dinar for my family, and the other dinar I will donate it to charity. So he goes back home. Night 1, 2 dinars. Night 2, another 2 dinars. Night 3, there was no money under his pillow. Now he got upset. He got upset. Why? Because he felt he was ridiculed. He was made fun of. He leaves his house with the axe again. Now he is really agitated. He is really angry. He takes the axe, he goes towards. But before I forget, when Shaitan was trying to tell him to stay away, at one point this man with the axe managed to subdue Shaitan. There was a small fight. And this man overpowered him. That is why Shaitan made the deal. He said, fine, you overpowered me, this is what I will do with you. The next day when he goes, or the third day, it is said that again he meets Shaitan on the way. The same conversation happens. But this time when the fight happens, Shaitan is over him. And Shaitan tells him, if you go to that tree and cut it down, I will make sure I cut your head off. The man gives up. He says, fine, no problem, I'm going to go back home. But answer me one question. What is the question? Why is it that the other time I was on top of you, I could subdue you, but now you can subdue me? Shaitan said, because the first time your intention was for Allah, the second time your intention was for the money, those 2 dinars. That is why I could subdue you. The moment our intention shifts from Allah to the human being, when we commit shirk, which we shall talk about, we are overpowered by Shaitan. Then it becomes easy for him to constantly go over us. Today we had a discussion upstairs. When Umar as-Saad had a decision to make at the end. One of them, I forget again which one, wanted the governorship of Ray. I think it was Shimmer, no? Wanted the governorship of Ray. Yes? Umar ibn as-Saad wanted the governorship of Ray. He wanted all that materialistic values. What happened? Easily, Shaitan subdued him. And he was powerless. Today, right in front of me, we have, who is under 14 over here? 14 and under. Raise your hands, don't feel shy. Under 14. You see, these young boys, there was one student, I was talking about religion, and he says, but sir, you know, when do we get time to play? He's 17, and he loves cricket. Sir, when do we get time to play? I mean, you know, life is such that, and every young child wants to be able to go home, watch TV, use the PlayStation, and play. Yes or no? It's natural in this day and age. Perhaps it stimulates their mind to think better. I don't know. But then there are some youth who are willing to give everything up. And this is no comparison, it's just an example of where we should be heading. Sure, enjoy life, no problem. As much as you want. But make sure whatever we do is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It should be for God. When the night of Ashura, the lights were turned off. When Abu Abdullah al-Hussein turned off the candle, and he told the people, you want to go? Go. And then when he turned back on, his companions were still sitting there, all of them. One of them, a young boy, tells his uncle, oh my uncle, will I also achieve martyrdom? And Imam al-Hussein looks at him and he says, my dear son, what is death to you? He said, oh my uncle, death to me is sweeter than honey. A young boy at the age of 14, according to many narrations, could have set aside and said, you know, I don't need to go and fight, I'm still young. I can go home, I can go back to the city of Medina, I can be with my friends again. But imagine this young boy was sitting there, and even on the day of Ashura, he kept on asking his uncle, oh my uncle, when is it time for me to go and fight for the sake of Allah? Ali Akbar came to ask his father, he went. Aun and Muhammad came to ask their uncle, they went. Qasim is still sitting down. Finally Qasim stands up. He goes to, because only a couple of them are left. Abbas was one of them. Qasim stands up, he goes to his uncle and he says, oh my uncle, I am the only one now who has left. All my cousins have left. Why do you not allow me to go for the sake of Allah? Have I done anything wrong? Imam Hussein says, my child Qasim, how is it possible for me to give you permission to go and fight? Your father, my brother, entrusted you to me. I cannot, and I promised that I would take care of you no matter what happened. Qasim was devastated. It is said that in some narrations he goes to his mother, Farwa. My mother, my uncle is not allowing me to go. Is there anything that you could do or say? In riwayat it says that the mother then remembered that Hassan ibn Ali gave a note, a tawiz, and told her that, oh my wife, there will come a time whereby my son will be in despair. He will not be able to make the right decision. Therefore, when that time comes, open this letter. She takes that letter and she goes to Imam al-Hussein and he opens it and he starts to read it. Tears pour down his eyes. Why? Because the letter says, my brother Hussein, there will come a time, I will be no more on this earth, but my son will come and ask you. Allow him to go and defend in my cause, in my name. This young man, it is said that when Imam al-Hussein looks at him, he takes the amama and he puts it on his head. And he looks at him because it reminds him of his brother Hassan. It reminds him of his brother who is no more, who had passed away some years ago. Al-Qasim sits on the horse and he is excited. He is not nervous. He is excited because he gets the opportunity. And he goes forward in the battlefield. There is an enemy on account, many accounts that says, there was a young man that we saw, his face was shining like the moon. One enemy says that I cannot forget when I see that his sandal strap, left sandal strap was torn and broken. Qasim ibn al-Hasan puts on a brave fight. After all, he was related to Ali ibn Abu Talib. He puts on a brave fight. It is said that there was some confusion that happens. And Imam al-Hussein is watching from the battleground, from camps. He is looking ahead. He sees that so many people have surrounded Qasim. He goes forward. As he is moving forward, the enemies are in confusion. They don't know where to go. All of a sudden, because of that, Qasim falls down from his horse. When he falls down, he is filled with all the spears and the arrows. He falls down. Imam Hussein comes forward. The horses of the enemy start to trample this young body of 14 years of age. It is said that Imam al-Hussein comes forward. He looks, he sees piece by piece the body all scattered over the plains of Karbala. He calls his brother Abbas. Abbas, come to help your brother. Come and see what they have done to my nephew. Come and see what they have done to my family. Imagine Imam al-Hussein, who was entrusted with this young boy, had to take his amama. He put it down on the ground and he took every piece one by one. He took the arms, he took the leg, he took the torso of such a young boy and he put it in the amama. He takes it back. Abbas wants to help him at that time. Imam al-Hussein says, my brother, no, let me take it back to the tents. When he goes back, he doesn't go inside the tents. He sends the maid and he says to Farwa, tell her to be prepared for what she is about to see. When she comes out, he opens it and she sees the body cut up into pieces. على لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين إن لله وإنا إليه راجعون. From these lessons of Karbala, my brothers and sisters, we should take one message. That no matter what happens to us, our physical body, of course we should not put it in harm's way to a certain extent, but if we do everything for the sake of Allah, then the pleasure we receive from His reward does not matter how much our body tolerates that pain. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that in these nights we achieve that level of submission and perfection, to be able to do everything. Our niyyah, our intention is solely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.